Yo, what's going on, guys? It's me, your boy, Yumiko, and welcome back to a brand new video. And today, we're going to be doing my predictions for Matchday 10 of the Premier League season. So let's jump straight into it. Right, okay, so the first game is Bournemouth against Leicester. I'm going to go for a Leicester win, because Leicester did get that very much needed win on Monday against Nottingham Forest. And I think with that momentum and the win behind them, that it will push their season forward now. And yeah, so I'm going to go for a Leicester win. And then for the second game, we have Chelsea against Wolves, which I think will be a really good game, by the way. I was quite shocked that Wolves sacked their manager because I thought he was doing some pretty decent things. I know that their start to the season wasn't exactly the best, but you've got to back your manager. It's only been a couple of games. You've got to back your manager. And I think that it was a huge mistake letting him go, but we'll see how they will do in the future. But I'm going to go for a Chelsea win. I just think that Chelsea have more quality in their side than Wolves, so I'm going to go for a Chelsea win. So then the third game is Manchester City against Southampton. I'm going to go for a City win. I just don't see a lot of teams, if any team at all, stopping us at the moment. But I do think if City win by a crazy scoreline, say 6-7-0, then I do think that Ralph Hasenhüttl will be sacked. But I think if it's maybe 2 or 3-0, then I think he'll keep his job. I think his job depends on how big the scoreline is. I've said this before, but I think if Scott Parker only lost like maybe 3 or 4-0 to Liverpool, he would probably still be in charge of Bournemouth right now. But of course, if you get embarrassed by big score lines, you tend to lose your job as it's an embarrassment to the establishment. But I do think if it's 2 or 3-0, I think he'll keep his job. So yeah, so I'm going for a City win. And moving on, we have Newcastle against Brentford. I'm going to go for a Newcastle win. Quite simple, as just a Newcastle win. I think maybe 3-1, 2-1, something like that. Okay, moving on to the final game of Saturday, we have Brighton against Tottenham. And honestly, I'm going to go for a Brighton win. Why? Because Tottenham did lose to North London Derby, even though they kind of do always lose that anyway. And Brighton played really well against Liverpool. They played really well. And they were kind of very unfortunate to actually not leave Anfield with all 3 points, to be honest with you. But yeah, so I'm going to go for a Brighton win. And then on the first game on Sunday, it's Crystal Palace against Leeds. I see a draw here, like a 2-2 draw. And I do think that it should be a really good game, this one. So then moving on to West Ham against Fulham. I think that West Ham will win, but I think it'll be a very small margin. I think maybe 1-0 or 2-1, something like that. But it should be a pretty interesting and entertaining game to watch. And then on Sunday again, we have Arsenal against Liverpool. This is going to be a really good game. And of course, if you are neutral, you would probably want to watch this game probably the most, seeing as Arsenal are looking really competitive this year and have a really good side. But I'm going to go for a draw here because it benefits City and everyone else involved. So I'm going to go for like a 0-0 draw just because, yes, I don't want either of these teams to win. So, yes. And for the final game on Sunday, we have Everton against Manchester United. And now I'm going to go for an Everton win. And you might be sat there thinking, why are you going for an Everton win? How and why? Well, because United are not doing that great. I mean, they got slapped by City at the weekend 6-3. And to be fair, they were kind of lucky to get the 3 goals because City turned off at that point. So yes, and they barely beat that Cyprus team yesterday in the Europa League. So it's not exactly looking amazing for them. So I think that Everton have got some decent results behind them in the last few weeks. So I'm going to go for like a 1-0 Everton. Yeah, so an Everton win. And my friend who is a United fan is probably going to block me on every single platform. But it is what it is. And finally, moving on to the final match day of this fixture, it's going to be Nottingham Forest against Aston Villa. Now, I do know that Nottingham Forest have just announced a 5-year contract, I think, or a 3-year contract with Steve Cooper as the manager. He has just signed it today, I believe. Yeah, so congrats to him. But I don't think that it's going to change much. I do see Villa winning this, and I see a pretty comfortable win for Aston Villa. I think maybe 3-1, something like that. So yeah, guys, let's do a quick recap. So we have a Leicester win. We have a Chelsea win, we have a Manchester City win, we have a Newcastle win, we have a Brighton win, we have a draw between Crystal Palace and Leeds, we have a West Ham win, we have a draw between Arsenal and Liverpool, we have an Everton win, and then we have an Aston Villa win. So yeah, guys, that's it for Matchday 10. And now I'm going to end the video here, but I will be adding something at the end of this video. It was something I recorded, I think, last Friday. It was for FIFA 23, and I just did not get around to uploading it, and I thought, well, instead of making this its own video like a week late, I will just add it at the end of this video. It's basically the ones to watch pack, if you guys are familiar with that. So if you guys want to watch that, then you can stay to the end and watch it. If not, you can just close the video off now And yeah, so yeah guys, that's it for me today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and until next time, I will catch you later. Goodbye. And let's go and open our free pack. And of course guys, if you did not see, we now have Bateson in the game, which I think is actually pretty cool for Bateson, you know. He is a, a streamer and a content creator. So yeah, it's pretty cool that he's in the game. So let's go and open our ones to watch play pack, and let's see if we can get that Erling Haaland, because that would be incredible. And let's hope for it. Come on, give me Haaland. Come on, please, I'm begging you. Give me Haaland. French? Oh, no, is that Tolisso? Oh, Tolisso? You give me Tolisso? Why? He's like 15,000 coins. Well, that's just depressing, isn't it?